Welcome back for another installment in my Creating a Book of Shadows Together series. I've been doing a lot of stones, and I figured it is high time to move on to some plants. So for me, plants is pretty much any of the herbs and trees and bushes and vines and various like root vegetables, all of the plants, because I'm not going to differentiate them. For me, it's just all of those, because I do tend to gravitate, especially as my craft has progressed, more into kitchen witchery-ish. I like to use things that you can easily find versus, like, again, I'm sure I've told this story, but when my mother-in-law suddenly passed, one of the herbs everyone had told me to use was yew tree. Get yew tree bark or something, anything to do with that tree, and like, you cannot get that. It is not something easily available. You have to wait for that to ship in when you need it in like a couple days. That just isn't possible. And ever since then, I've just kind of started to get away from things that I can't easily get access to. And so for me, a lot of my plants are either things that are local that I can easily find, cedar, juniper trees, sagebrush, that kind of stuff is easy. But that's also like a Utah thing. Like, I know other states have it, but like when you go back to like Florida, for instance, I don't think those trees grow very much over there. And like, I don't know that sagebrush happens over there either. It's more of a desert plant. But for this series, for the most part, I'm going to be focusing on ones that we can easily get. And so today, as you could guess by the title, we're talking about blueberries. Now, I wanted to start with this one in particular because I eat these every single day. So I am, over the next few installments in this series, I'm going to be going through my own concoction because I don't actually know a lot of the magical properties off the top of the head for what I cook every day. So I like to make a sort of parfait-ish thing. So I add blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries into a bowl. I have the frozen kind because that's easy and nuke it in the microwave for a couple minutes. Then I add some chia seeds, a thing like the little packet of yogurt, and then I usually top it with some sort of cereal because you gotta have that in your life. And that is breakfast. And I'm like, I don't actually know the magical properties of like any of these ingredients. So we're starting with the first one that I usually add to this concoction that I make every single day, which is blueberries. I know, double intro, it's fine. It's one of those days. Some of the basic correspondences, so these are going to be a little bit different, and I think it's going to depend. This is the first one, and there wasn't a lot. I looked through most of my books. This isn't mentioned anywhere really. Like even Cunningham's book, very, very, very small entry for blueberries. So it's like, cool. So a lot of this had to come from websites, and like even my big book, Llewellyn's Complete Book of Correspondences, absolutely nothing for the blueberries, so that's fun. So anyways, I feel like as we get more popular ones, there might be more associations that we can add, but for now, here's just a few. So we'll start off with the zodiacs. This is my favorite. I wish we could find a new name for it. My own sign, Cancer. Hate that name. If we could just petition all of the pagans of the world, can we pick a different name? It has a different association. Can we find a new one? Because I'm team different name. Anyways, and also Pisces. The elements associated are water and earth. The planets are Moon and Venus. The chakra is throat and heart. A few deities that were listed are Artemis, Cernunnos, Hern, Luna, the horned god, and Selene. And then for the magical properties, we've got, which really, this first one, that's pretty much all of them, which is protection. Everywhere, heavy emphasis, blueberry is all about protection. Can also be used for calming, peace, and luck. Some spell suggestions. Make a blueberry pie to help with psychic attacks. Other places also said just to use that for like general protection. You can make a blueberry tea to help bring about calmness. And I could not find this, but I know I had looked into this years ago, like 7 years ago, because at my very first like real adult job, this was something that I would use, and I know that I found it in one of my books, but I could not for the life of me find it again. So it's somewhere in the books. But supposedly it was also supposed to be used to help like boost your mood and fight against depression. As I always mention, it is not a cure, but it can help. And I always love tea magic, so I would just get a blueberry tea. You can also get like a green tea that has like blueberry in it. And that's what I would drink to bring about like that calmness, but also like to perk your mood a little bit. But again, I could not find that anywhere, but I remember distinctly because I was like, cool, that would be helpful. And then I couldn't find it twice. So just wanted to mention that one. You can also eat blueberries to help with your memory. You can use the dried leaves and add it to any protection, prosperity, or luck spells. You can sprinkle the dried, crushed leaves around your yard or your home for protection. You can use blueberry juice to draw sigils and other magical symbols. The website that mentioned this made me laugh because it's so true. If you decide to do this, be careful. Blueberry juice is hella sticky and it will attract a lot of the insect variety around. So just be cautious, especially if you use it like outside and stuff. Bees, ants, things like that are going to be absolutely drawn to it. So, and then lastly, use blueberries to rid yourself of bad luck or ill intentions by burning the dried leaves. And that was all that I could really find. So I'm just going to mention very briefly here at the end how I'm planning to use blueberries is I've also heard that they are associated with Lunaza. I couldn't find a whole lot in my books as of today when I was doing the research for this, but you could easily do that. A lot of, like, I remember back in the day, the early heydays of pagan YouTube, a lot of people, especially Charming Pixie Flora, but I saw other people doing it too, all defunct channels, so that's the joys of our community here, but you would make blueberry like muffins around like Lunaza time, so like early August. You could also do it for Mabon as well, just harvesty kind of time of the year. For myself right now, I think I'm going to be utilizing the blueberry in my morning concoction as a bit of protection throughout the day. I also like the idea of adding like a little bit of luck to your day. And like, obviously, having help for the memory is going to be great because I have to remember a whole lot of things for all of the stuff that I do. So anyways, I don't know. I still feel like I'm going to focus on protection. But like, I don't know, the prosperity part wasn't mentioned that often. I feel like this is really just an herb for protection. And I say herb, it should be plant. But I guess you could use the leaves or the berries. There wasn't a whole lot of talk of using the berries either. Like, to dry them and use them, it was really just like the leaves, which most of us, if you don't have a garden, are not going to have that. So anyways, I'm curious how you use blueberries. Do you use the leaves? Do you use the berry? Do you use a bit of both? Would love to know in the comments down below. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons. If you want to support me and get access to exclusive content, it is patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. Make sure to like and subscribe. I post every single day. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.